Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Lesson 1: Skeletal and Muscular System. Knowledge acquisition. After completing this chapter, we will be able to know about the various parts of skeletal system and muscular system, the structure and functions of these parts, the significance of joints in the body, the muscles and movement, the circulatory system, the circulation of blood. The human body is made up of cells, tissues, and organs. It is a wonderful machine. It performs different kinds of work at a time. It is made up of several organ systems that all work together as a unit to make sure body keeps functioning and performs different kinds of functions at the same time. In this chapter, we will study about skeletal and muscular systems. The skeletal system. The skeletal system is like the body's internal framework. It is an essential part of the human body which provides the shape and strength to the body. It protects all the internal organs of the body. It also helps in the movement of body parts. An adult human has 206 bones of different sizes and shapes in his body. The skeletal system consists of the skull, the backbone, the ribcage, and the limbs. These limbs are attached to two pairs of girdles, shoulder girdle and hip girdle. The skull, it is a complex structure that forms the bony framework of the head. It protects the brain. It is made up of 22 bones. The skull consists of 14 facial bones and 8 cranial bones. The cranial bones make up a frame around the brain. The facial bones make up the upper and lower jaws and other facial structure. Except the lower jaw, all other bones in the skull is fixed. It enables us to eat and talk. Critical thinking. We teeth are the hardest substances in our body. The backbone. The skull is attached to the backbone which forms the balance of skeleton. The backbone is also known as spine or the vertebral column. It consists of 33 irregular shaped bones called the vertebrae. These bones make a strong framework which protects the spinal cord. The backbone enables us to stand upright and maintain our balance. The rib cage. Rib cage is also known as the thorax. They are thin, flat and curved bones. They form a protective bony cage around the heart and the lungs. There are 12 pair of bow-shaped bones. The ribs are joined to the backbone and the breastbone. The lowest two pairs, called the floating ribs, are joined only to the backbone. Apart from protecting the heart and the lungs, the ribs also protect parts of the stomach, kidneys and spine. The limbs. The human body has two pairs of limbs, the forelimbs or the arms and the hind limbs or the legs. The powerful thigh bone is called femur, is the longest bone in the body, bears the weight of the whole body. The long bones of the skeleton are hollow and are filled with a soft fatty substance called bone marrow. Functions of skeleton. The skeleton gives shape, strength and support to our body. The skeleton protects internal delicate organs of our body. Muscles are attached to bones and make movement possible. Bone marrow produces white blood cells and red blood cells. Joints. Joints are the points where two or more bones come together in the human body. There are different types of joints in our body. The bones are held together at the joints by the tissues called ligaments. All the joints except those in the skull are movable. The bones in the skull are interlocked, making the joints immovable. There are 4 types of movable joints: the hinge joint, the ball and socket joint, the pivot joint, and the gliding joint. 1. The hinge joint. A hinge joint is like a door hinge. This type of joint allows movement in one direction. The elbows, knees, fingers and toes have hinge joints. 2. The ball and socket joint. A ball and socket joint is like a ball in a cup. It allows movement in all directions. They help you swing your arms and legs in different directions, like when you are throwing a ball or reaching up high. Hip and shoulder joints are of this type. 3. The pivot joint. It is type of joint in our body that lets one bone rotate around another bone. In this joint, the round surface of one bone fits into a ring formed by the other bone. This joint is found between the skull and the first 2 vertebrae of the spine. We can move our head sideways, upward and downward with the help of pivot joint. 4. The gliding joint. A gliding joint is like a sliding puzzle piece. The joint allows the movement at the wrist and ankle. It allows our back to bend, twist and turn at each joint. Muscular system. The muscular system is a complex network of muscles in our body that work together. The muscles which are attached to the bones by storing fibers called tendons. A muscle is an organ made up of muscle tissue. Muscle tissues are made up of long thin muscle cells which are arranged in bundles called muscle fibers. There are 3 different types of muscles in our body. Muscles that are under our control are called voluntary muscles. We can do what we want with them. The muscles of our hands and legs are voluntary muscles. The muscles which are controlled automatically by our body are called involuntary muscles. They work on their own. For example, the muscles that move the food through the food pipe. The 3rd type of muscles are cardiac muscles, which are found in our heart. They help the heart to pump the blood all over the body. They work continuously without stopping and without getting tired. To keep the muscles in good shape, we must maintain a good posture while we sit, stand or walk. The circulatory system. The heart and blood vessels form the circulatory system. This system is also known as the cardiovascular system. It is responsible for circulation of blood to all parts of the body. Circulation of blood takes place with the help of arteries, veins, capillaries and heart. Blood. It is a red-colored liquid which flows inside the blood vessels. It consists of a liquid part and a number of different kinds of cells which are present in the liquid. Blood cells are of 2 types. 1. Red blood cells, RBCs. They carry oxygen from the lungs to different parts of the body. They also help to remove carbon dioxide from the body. 2. White blood cells, WBCs. They help to fight from infections. There are another type of blood cells that help in clotting of blood. These cells are called platelets. Blood cells also carry away the waste materials from different parts of the body. Blood vessels. Blood flows throughout the body through a network of fine tubes called the blood vessels. There are 3 types of blood vessels. 1. Arteries. Arteries are situated a little deeper in the skin. They carry blood from the heart to the capillaries. 2. Capillaries. These are the thinnest blood vessels, like thread. They carry blood to every cell of the body. When blood leaves an organ, capillaries join together to form larger and larger vessels. which ultimately form the veins. 3. Veins. These are the thin tubes. They carry blood from all the organs of the body back to the heart. Circulation of blood. The movement of blood through the heart and around the body is called circulation. The circulation of blood in the body takes place in the following manner. The heart pumps the blood to various parts of the body through blood vessels. The left side of the heart pumps out oxygen-rich blood throughout the body via the arteries. The body takes oxygen from the blood and uses it. In return, it releases carbon dioxide and waste into the blood. The right side receives blood containing carbon dioxide from all parts of the body and sends it to the lungs. Blood is pumped to the lungs by the right ventricle for the removal of carbon dioxide and enrichment with oxygen. The oxygen-rich blood now enters the heart again through the left auricle, and the process continues. Continuous review. The skeletal system is a rigid framework of bones that gives shape and strength to the body. The skeletal system consists of the skull, the backbone, the ribcage, and the limbs. The place where two or more bones join together are called joints. The voluntary muscles are worked under our control, whereas involuntary muscles are not.
Like, share, and subscribe.